We're skipping the pasta, but keeping all the comfort. These high-protein, low-carb lasagna balls are exactly what I want to have on hand when I need something filling, easy, and actually good for me. They're single-serve, macro-calculated, and perfect for meal prep. Just heat and eat whenever you're ready. From cheesy chicken Alfredo lasagna to bold, flavor-packed Mexican lasagna, these single-serve bowls use low-carb noodle hacks that will give you all the cozy lasagna vibes, but without the pasta. I love that my husband decides that now's a good time to pressure wash the house. Really? To make these bowls, I'm using these meal prep containers that I picked up from Amazon. They hold around 2 cups worth of food, but the key thing is that they're oven proof, so I can heat up my meal prep bowls in the oven. But honestly, you can do this in the microwave or air fryer too. And they have these like really nice little covers. The first bowl is this easy Mexican lasagna. For the noodles, I'm using low-carb tortillas. I thought I had ordered 4-inch low-carb tortillas from my grocery order, but apparently I ordered 8-inch ones because I didn't read it correctly. But no worries, it's easy to just cut them to size to fit my container. And honestly, you could do this with whatever size container you have. Even if you have one that's larger, just cut it to size. Each container, you're gonna need 3 4-inch tortillas. And yes, I'm not actually using kitchen shears for these because, well, they're dirty and these scissors are clean, but I actually cut my food with these scissors all the time. It's easy to run through the dishwasher. Now, if you don't want to use these low-carb tortillas because you're gluten-free and these are not gluten-free, you could either use those egg wraps that are made by Egg Life, or you could just make your own gluten-free tortillas that are low-carb. I have a delicious recipe for them on my website. Just go to ketofocus.com. It's a 5-star recipe too. And I'm prepping 2 bowls today, one to eat now and one to eat later, or actually I think one for my husband to eat. So I cut out 6 tortillas. Now, to assemble our high protein bowls, lay down one of those tortillas in the bottom and then pour in 2 tablespoons of your favorite enchilada sauce. And I'm using this brand because it has clean ingredients and it's low carb. For the amount that I'm using today, the enchilada sauce only contributes to 2 carbs per bowl. Then I lay down another tortilla. And I like to add beans to my enchilada lasagna. Ideally, I'd be using black beans, but they're not low carb. Instead, I'm using my go-to black bean replacement, which is black soybeans. These are low carb because they're mostly fiber and they still have a good amount of protein. Plus, we're only adding 1/4 cup per bowl. So that contributes around 2.5 carbs and around 6 grams of protein to each bowl. Obviously, if you think that soy is the devil, don't use this, just leave it out. The recipe is gonna taste just as delicious. I then add 1 tablespoon of green diced chilies. And then for protein, I add in some chicken. This is grilled chicken that I had already prepped up for the week. Summertime meal prep is so easy because you can easily grill up meats and then throw them in recipes throughout the week. Actually, what am I saying? I even use my grill in the wintertime when there's a bunch of snow out. Each bowl gets 4 ounces of chicken. And if you're a vegetarian, you can just stick with the black soybeans for protein, or you can even add more of them. Ground beef would also work in place of the chicken, or even if you have leftover steak. Then pour on 2 more tablespoons of enchilada sauce, then some shredded cheddar cheese. Add about 1 ounce here. Then place that last tortilla on top and then add on another ounce of shredded cheese. And I'm using freshly shredded cheddar cheese here because I think it tastes better. Plus it also melts better than the pre-shredded kind. Then if you're making these up ahead of time, you can put the lid on them and refrigerate them or freeze them for later. If you're eating them now like I am, place them on a baking tray and bake them in a 350-degree oven for around 30 minutes. But like I mentioned before, you could also microwave these to heat them up. Just microwave it until the cheese is melted and everything is heated through, which will usually take around 3 to 4 minutes. I like to top my bowls with some sour cream and avocado, but totally optional. Each bowl has around 45 grams of protein and around 7.5 carbs. And let me tell you, this will fill you up until your next meal, possibly even longer. After a meal like this that's loaded with protein and super low in carbs, the last thing I want to do is ruin it with a sugary drink. That's why I've been loving Element. It's actually a 0 sugar electrolyte mix that tastes good and helps keep me hydrated, especially since I'm eating low carb or when I'm fasting. Element gives you electrolytes you need, like sodium, magnesium, and potassium in a perfect science-backed ratio. And it doesn't have any of the junky ingredients. No sugar, no artificial colors, just clean hydration. It's trusted by pro athletes, Olympic athletes, special forces units, and moms like me who are just trying to get through the day feeling good because some days I feel like I'm working just as hard as those guys. Element comes in a wide range of flavors, but you can also get them unflavored. My favorites are grapefruit, orange, citrus, and my current favorite is their limited edition flavor, lemonade salt. Right now, when you try Element, you'll get a free 8-count sample pack of Element's most popular drink mix flavors. You'll get it at any purchase at drinkelement.com/ketofocus. It's a great way to sample some of the most popular Element flavors, or you could just share them with a friend. Plus, you can try Element risk-free. If you don't like it, they'll refund your order, no questions asked. Again, go to drinkelement.com/ketofocus to get yours. On to our next meal prep bowl. This one is a chicken Alfredo lasagna bowl. It is the ultimate comfort food recipe. To keep it low in carbs, in place of lasagna noodles, I'm using these egg wraps. I got these from the brand Egg Life. You can usually find them in the egg section or the cheese section of your grocery store. But they're just wraps that are made from eggs, so they're 0 carb and high in protein. And don't worry, they actually don't taste like eggs, especially when you mix them in with sauces. Each bowl starts with a half of a wrap that's cut into pieces. And you could always use low carb tortillas or even hearts of palm lasagna noodles here in this recipe as well. My favorite brand of the hearts of palm noodles is Natural Heaven. They're the best ones that I've tried. They're gluten-free and low in carbs. Next, let's work on the white sauce. Instead of using ricotta cheese, which is what most traditional lasagna recipes use, I'm gonna use cottage cheese. Since I'm making 2 bowls, I'm gonna add in 2/3 cup of cottage cheese into a small bowl, and then 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan cheese. And then for the seasonings, I'm gonna use a 1/2 teaspoon each of salt, pepper, garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. Mix that until it's combined, and then top our low carb noodles with 1/4 of the sauce for each bowl. Now for some vegetables, because I'm not a complete animal. I'm topping this with some cooked spinach, about 1/4 cup each. Then Alfredo sauce. Luckily, most Alfredo sauce is just naturally low in carbs. This one is my favorite. It's really tasty. I'm gonna pour around 2 tablespoons of Alfredo sauce on top of the spinach. And then add on 2 ounces of cooked chicken. And a rotisserie chicken, if you don't want to grill up your own, or you could use an Instant Pot too to prep up some chicken, you could use a rotisserie chicken here. And then cut up the rest of that egg wrap and put that on top of the chicken. Then spread out the remaining white sauce in between the 2 bowls, and then I top it with another 2 ounces of cooked chicken. More Alfredo sauce, about 2 more tablespoons each, and then top with some fresh mozzarella cheese slices. This gets baked in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for around 20 to 30 minutes or until the cheese is melted. But like I mentioned before, you could easily just microwave these or put them in your air fryer to cook. Each of these bowls has close to 50 grams of protein and only 6.5 carbs. It's a low carb dream and it is so good. If you love lasagna like I do, but you actually really want the real thing, I have a recipe that my family loves and they can't even tell it's low carb. Just click here to see how to do it.